I mean, look, Bionicle masks are incredibly awesome. There's just so many good ones. But don't sleep on your Hero Factory masks. There's so many bangers out there that work well on Hero Factory and Bionicle themed characters. So let's count down the top 5 best Hero Factory masks, and we'll check out some ways that you could use them on your own LEGO creations. Let's go. In the number 5 spot, we have a horrifyingly beautiful mask. It's the one that belongs to the all-powerful Witch Doctor. You know, going all out with a skull-based helmet really does look sensational. There's just a ton of detail packed into this. You know, like the irregular shape of the teeth. It's perfectly sinister. The jagged curves of the eyebrows, those look wonderful. It also accents the evil eyes on the mask quite nicely. Or I don't know, even just the gap in the lower jaw right here. It showcases the skull vibes incredibly well. The vibes of this mask are just so different. If we compare this to, say, the G2 skull masks, they both have a similar vibe, sure. It is very nice that this mask is white. Better suits the vibe of a skull, doesn't it? But I don't know, there's something a bit more Saturday morning villain about Witch Doctor's mask. It leans in perfectly to this over-the-top, zany look. But at the same time, everything about it still feels incredibly sinister, evil, and edgy. You can both take it seriously and laugh about how silly and over-the-top it looks. Bionicle masks are typically a lot more serious. This mask doesn't take itself seriously, and I like that. But how can we use it in a MOC? Well, those spooky, scary skeleton vibes are perfectly captured by Biophant Samurai. I mean, this whole body design is sensational. It captures the look of a human skeleton in a very accurate way. But it also appears to be very posable and very stable, which is super impressive. And you know, of course, if you're building a skeleton, you kinda have to use this mask, right? Yeah, it's the perfect choice for a body like this. And then you slap some of this fun weaponry on the back, that's such a good inclusion. The evil look of this mask fits the rest of this body so perfectly. And then nerved MOCs, they keep that creepy vibe going with a bit of a revamp of Witch Doctor himself. But this is cool. This is creepy, but in a totally different way. We've got some of those Harry Potter wand pieces on the fingers. They almost look a little bit like needles. And then all the wires kind of dancing throughout the body design. Even that looks creepy. The way the figure's posed. There's something so unsettling about how this looks. It's great. So if you are looking to build some kind of creepy villain, this mask is a perfect choice. Oh, and one last thing too. A big selling point for this mask is if you flip it upside down, it kind of looks like a different helmet. I always saw these lines here as 4 eyes. That could be a cool way to use the mask, if you wanted to. Okay, time for number 4. It's a bit of a different one, but it is a personal favorite of mine. It's Meltdowns Mask. So this is another one that feels so alien from anything that we saw in Bionicle sets. You know, it's so exciting to be exploring new territory like this. We've not really seen many masks that have a mono eye. And how dope does that lone red eye look? It's some scary stuff. And then the design of the mask itself, all of these lines and textures, the way that they flare out on the sides. It's sick. It almost gives off some Transformer vibes. Yeah, specifically like a Transformer from the Bayverse movies. I like that. It's stuff like this mask that would be the perfect thing to add onto a Bionicle character, because it would just add such a new and exciting aesthetic that you wouldn't really get out of other existing masks. But something else I love about this is how versatile it is. Dylan Meaves flips this the other way around and uses it as a beard for a Viking. Man, that works surprisingly well, doesn't it? How unexpectedly beautiful. Dylan also uses 2 of these on a different MOC, kind of tucking them in the back here for engines on a spaceship. The lines of this mask start to look a lot like fins that you would find on a really fancy looking sci-fi spaceship. That's so clever. So see, this works really well as a mask, but also works just as well for so many other things. Any mask that has that much creative potential is a winner in my books. Over to number 3, and we are hitting a big one very early. I bet a lot of you thought this was going to be number 1, but it's not. The 3rd best Hero Factory mask, in my opinion, is Core Hunter's incredible helmet. I mean, this looks like some sort of night vision goggles, and that alone is sick. But at the same time, all of the eyes on here, they kind of resemble the eyes that you would see on a spider. This is just such a wonderful blend of human and animal features rolled into one. You don't see that every day, especially in such a subtle way as this. Sure, you had your 3.0 masks, which were very clearly animal-inspired, but that's very in your face and obvious, right? This one, not so much. The animal influence, you may not even notice it, but it's there. And hey, with the amount of community love that this character gets, it feels kind of criminal to leave this mask out of the list. He just had to be included. I feel like the most iconic part of any Bionicle or Hero Factory set is the face. The mask plays such a big role in why we love Core Hunter. It's so incredibly iconic, it's the best. But what makes this even better are the ways that you can use it in creations. For example, what Kuwasabe has done here, I mentioned that spider influence before. Well, why not double down on that and build a spider-like body to go with Core Hunter's mask? This sea of legs and a human body rising out of it. That looks so cool. This really is the perfect mask if you're building something that has some arachnid influences. Okay, so we've leaned a little bit more into the spider design. Why don't we lean more into the night vision goggle appearance? Joxon does so on a creation called Heartstopper. We see that this is literally night vision goggles. They're placed over the character's eyes, and she can also lift them up to expose her face underneath. What an awesome idea! And a really good head design too. It's perfect for a sniper character. Now, you might have also noticed these yellow pieces poking out of the eyes. What is that? Well, actually, you can place minifigure hands into the holes of this mask, which makes for a really fun connection. And you can put any color of minifigure hand in there and further customize this mask as much as you want. I love it when masks have unexpected connection points on them. That's just another reason that this mask rules. Now let's move over to number 2, and this one is a little bit different, a little bit unexpected. This might surprise a few of you that it's here, but hey, I think it's amazing. We have Ogre Mask. What? Why is this one here? Well, several reasons. Let me explain. Look at how detailed this mask is. Ogre, is of course inspired by an ogre, and you can certainly see that. The boils and zits on his face, they're such clever details. And I feel like honestly you could have left them out and the mask still would have looked great. But the fact that they put that in there, that little extra little something something, it's just the cherry on top. What an incredible choice to put that there. And then the mouth with all of these pointed teeth, it's perfectly sinister. And then check out the connection points down below as well. The ability to give him tusks, or I don't know, whatever you want. That's a bar connection, you can put so many pieces in there. How good is that? But also, this is one of very few masks that's incredibly flat. A lot of other masks, they cover the entire face, flowing backwards and along the sides. But this really just covers the very front of the face. It's leaving the top and the sides exposed. Of course, that's to allow room for the brain slug. But removing it, it does have a unique shape. And I think that shape is what makes this so good, because it makes it so easy to use in MOCs. This creation by Huskworld illustrates that point very nicely. You can see it on the torso, you can see it in a few different places here actually, even down here on the crotch, it's also on the arms, it's also on the feet, but my favorite use of it has to be on the face. It's being tucked underneath this mask. It's Kongu Enaika's mask. What a great combination of pieces. See, this is so versatile. You can use this so easily for armor detail, for shaping, for a cool head design. It's the best. But if you think that's good, check this out. The builder has added a little boss health bar, like this is a villain in a video game. And placing the mask just next to the health bar, it does look fresh out of a video game. That is so clever. This is so good. I told you, it's a great mask. We also have a mock by Buffoon, and they use it for a samurai mask. This looks exactly like a samurai mask. You can make an exceptional samurai warrior with this if you got a bunch of dark green to go with it. They nailed this. Okay, here we go. Time for number 1. The best Hero Factory mask, in my opinion. Well, it doesn't belong to a villain. We've been very villain heavy in this episode. No, the best mask belongs to an amazing brain attack version of Breeze, with her brilliant silver mask. Something I love so much about this is the color change. for many previous versions of Breeze, she sported this fantastic lime green mask. Which, by the way, is a dope mask. But, you know, lime is such a very, in-your-face colour. It's so big and bright. It's not something that you can use on any creation at any time. It's one of those colours that makes a statement, you know? It's very in-your-face. So to get a different version of this mask that has been altered slightly, but is now in silver, that's amazing. This more muted colour, it's so much easier to use. Silver complements pretty much any other colour, and silver is also one of the most common Bionicle colours. So you've got a lot of pieces you can play with that'll work with this mask. This colour change is so helpful for making MOCs, and this mask looks so good on any creation. I'll prove it to you. Here's a MOC by Crow that is their own version of Zarya. Look at that. The mask fits so nicely with old Bionicle pieces, and even some Knights Kingdom armor parts. We can see some of them on the shoulders. This can be paired with CCBS parts, old Bionicle pieces, Knights Kingdom parts. It would probably even look good with Galador pieces. How good is that? And I forgot to mention as well, how good is it that you can stylize this mask a little bit further with the visor that we see on the Brain Attack set? It looks good with it or without it. That added level of customization on this is very good. Speaking of which too, Crow has another MOC that also uses this mask, but we've got a trans orange visor used instead of the trans green one. And doesn't that just look amazing? And see, look here, look how subtle the silver is. It's just on the mask, it's just on the feet, and the sword. That's it. And then everything else is orange and black. It's so easy to introduce just that little bit of silver into a color scheme, and it still looks sensational. If you introduced lime to this color scheme instead of silver, I don't know if that would look that great. I'm so glad they recolored this mask. It's the best. Oh, and one more MOC, just because this mask is that good. Brick Thing has used this right here. And they've given it a lovely paint job. That little hint of gold there, it's a good idea. But look at the overall MOC. I know that this character has mind-based powers, but with those jaw blade helmets on the sides of the shoulders, it suddenly takes on a bit of an aquatic appearance. And you know what? Looking at this mask with those fins poking out of the back, it does have some fish-like underwater vibes to it. I never really saw that on the original set, but in this context, it works perfectly for a tower of water, even if they're not a tower of water. Isn't that amazing? You wouldn't think it had that water vibe, but it does. I'm telling you, man, this is such a versatile and easy to use mask. It's the best. And that's why it's in the #1 spot. So there you go, that's the beauty of Hero Factory masks. Did you agree with my top 5 list, or is yours vastly different? Why don't you leave it in the comments below? I'd love to hear what your favorites are. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now. Also, I lied. Surge's mask is the best and it beats all of them.